gay marriage should not be legalized because, one, homosexuality is considered a sin, and with marriage, that is something of virtue which you associate with Christ. So no, gay should not be married because that goes against what the traditional values of it. It would also weaken the definition and the respect for the institution of marriage. And when I say this, it's because when you think of marriage, you think of a man and a woman and what's right in adapting, like for a child, for a family structure and things like that, which goes hand in hand with why they shouldn't be able to adopt either, because that confuses the child. I've worked within child care for the last 2 years, and I've met gay couples that raise children. I met a young black male who's been raised by 3 white males, and it was very confusing for the younger children, for the child himself, when the children would ask, like, who are the men? What are they to you? How do you describe who's your dad? What do they do in your life? And it confuses the children of what active roles a gender plays and how to reproduce. And if we don't reproduce, there will be no society, which is like a genocide in itself, and it allows a slippery slope of other things to be, like when we say free love and marriage and things like that. All type of things could go wrong with that. For one, polygamists will be able to marry as many people as they want, because if we're all about love, peace, and happiness, that means there should be no limit to wives. That means that people can marry a goat, dogs, cats, toasters, whatever it felt like, because the sanctity of marriage loses all value. Also, the gay lifestyle is not something to be encouraged. It is, a lot of research shows it leads to a much lower life expectancy from psychological disorders and other problems because of that. The structure of your mind is not to be with a man and a man and things like that. Your gene pool wasn't made like that, and you weren't procreated like that as well. And also, it encourages people to live in high risk lifestyles and things like that because of this. When I encourages high risk lifestyles, because the more that things are shown and put in somebody's face, the more it's acceptable the culture becomes. Just how when people are shown guns and drugs, and it's continuously shown in somebody's face, they begin to accept it and begin to partake in it. And when that happens, that means we'll have a whole bunch of people running around confused and accepting and thinking that it's right to be gay, and making this into a bigger snowball effect of what could happen, because eventually everybody being gay, a man and a man can't procreate, and a woman can't procreate, and then you got a whole bunch of adopted children that now are growing up confused, because not only are they messed up from foster care system, but now they're being raised in a 2-woman, 2-man household. So how do you describe the man and woman roles there? And it just how it takes a man and a woman to raise a child, it takes a man and a woman to raise. Just how it takes a man and a woman to raise a child, takes one to make one as well. And when I say raise one, it's because just like a single mother cannot raise a child by herself, it takes both aspects of a man and a woman to instill the family structure that comes into the marriage. Also, it confuses children, expectations of society. Only a man and woman can procreate. Children learn about expectations and gender roles from society. It's different to teach the importance of traditions of the family when such confusion is thrust upon them. Only a man and woman can bear children. For thousands of years, a man and woman headed household has carried generations of people through life. So I vote that although to be gay and things like that is accepted or becoming more acceptable, it shouldn't be allowed to be married and thrust upon a society and thrown in people's face and saying like this is okay, because it's not. It's an alternative, which means it's not the general consensus is not accepting or willing to accept this. And even if we're saying that they shouldn't be able to marry, this shouldn't even be a top priority on the gays' agenda of things to do. If they're talking about equality and things, they should be trying to have equality within workplaces, within society, not within marriage. That should be the lowest of the low. I mean, start on basics first and being accepted with the laws, things like that, to protect yourselves from hate crimes and being beaten on for being gay, and acceptability, and teaching this within schools, and start slow with baby steps before. Just how it took small steps for people to be able to be married to black and whites, it's going to take small steps for people to be able to accept that Steve and Jim want to be together and they want to get married and raise a family of kids. So that is why you should vote negative, that this should not be a top priority within the gay community of what they need to accomplish. And on top of that, it should not be legalized marriage and gay rights.